Welcome to the Story Circle. My name is Joshua Lenon, and it is my joy to give you this story in a way that maybe you've never heard it before. See, I grew up in church my entire life, and for me, the Bible was a book of facts or a book of rules. It was a biblical trivial pursuit, if you will. I mean, I could turn to any page you needed, and I knew the reference and how to get there, and I knew which books came before the other ones, and I could even spell Melchizedek. And there was just a way in which I knew all the facts about the Bible and knew all the things about it, but I didn't know the story. I didn't even know it was a story. I thought it was just something that I needed to do and follow and some rules, and yet it's so much more. This is a story that begins with the words, "In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth." Did you ever catch the "and" in there? It's not a story of one thing, but two. It's the story of heaven and earth because it's the story of God and you. It's the story of how He made you, and formed you, and wanted you to be His, but a story of how that was lost, but also how He fought to bring you back to Himself again. The Story Circle is a way for us to enter into that whole entire story. Our story begins in Act 1, beauty. It's the story of a God who makes this world with nothing but His voice. But you and I, we were different. We were formed by His own hands. We are handcrafted creatures of God, made in His image. But that sadly brings us to Act 2, tragedy. And it only takes 3 pages of the Bible to get there. And on that page, we watch as mankind rebels against God and flees into the darkness and finds themselves hidden so far and so deep into that garden that they became lost. And we became lost for a really long time. And that moves us to Act 3, which is struggle. It's the story of Israel. And interestingly, Israel's just 3 Hebrew words shoved together: Ish, Ra, and El. Ish meaning man, El meaning God, and Ra meaning struggle. And theirs is the story of struggle. It's as though all the struggle of the world was bound up in them. But that moves us to the story of rescue in Act 4, where Jesus, the one true and faithful Israelite, the King who is to come, came to rescue not just Israel, but this whole entire world, you and I included. And that then moves us to Act 5, which is mission, where Jesus then invites all of us to join with Him in the rescue and redemption of this world as He begins to make it new again. Which brings us to Act 6, and back to beauty. In this act, we watch as God restores creation to what it was intended to be. That the God who called this world into existence with nothing but His voice and called it good did not relinquish His claim on this creation, but made it good again. And as you turn to the final page of Scripture, what you start to see is a whole world being made new and a God who says, "I've come to make all things new again." I so want you to know this story. I want you to get it in your bones because it's your story, it's my story, and it's the story this world so desperately needs to hear. Welcome to the Story Circle.